Good afternoon, my beautiful people. Let me tell you something. I did not get rich overnight. Period. I did not buy crypto. Period. I don't day trade. I don't have time for day trading. Instead, I used a boring stock strategy to be exact, that helped me fire that man. Help me fire my boss. Yes. So I use a strategy. It's so simple. It's super simple. And honestly, it's so boring. A lot of people, they overlook this strategy because it's not hype. Everybody knows the day trading stuff where is it's a lot going on. It's a little excitement. But this strategy, boring. Okay, absolutely boring. But that boring strategy, it started paying me weekly. And eventually, listen, it made it possible for me to walk away from my 9 to 5, working in information technology for a Fortune 500 company at 24 years old. At 24 years old. So let me show you how simple this is and how you can learn it too. So this is for you, even if you never, ever traded before. Even if you don't even know what the stock market is, even if you completely clueless, don't worry, I got you. So before I started trading this actual strategy, just listen to me. When I say, I know y'all can relate and y'all been here before, but when I say I was stuck in that 9 to 5 grind, like actually feeling like I'm on a hamster wheel and just couldn't get off, trying to plot and plan my way out, trying to think of all these different strategies. You probably started a couple businesses and didn't do too good. And you just feel like you stuck. That was me. Stuck on this daggone hamster wheel, working all these long hours. And let me just tell you this. When I was working my 9 to 5, constantly, I was checking my blood sugars. And for those who don't know, I was diagnosed with juvenile type 1 diabetes. And when I say that thing came with some extra challenges, y'all know to work a 9 to 5 is already some challenges associated. Y'all already know that. But let's add in a chronic disease on top of that. Yeah, when I say extra challenges, going to work, not feeling the best, trying to just survive at work, trying to take care of myself, trying to bring up my blood sugar, trying to save myself from having a seizure. Because that's what happens when your blood sugar goes low. Then when your blood sugar goes high, just all the body aches and pains. Y'all understand. When I say it was the extra challenges on top of the living paycheck to paycheck, of course, that made it even harder. I was just tired. Listen, I was just so tired of just surviving, and I just needed a way to create an income where I didn't have to depend on that thing. I was tired of depending on a boss and hours worked and whether I feel good. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I didn't want to depend on that anymore. So anyways, I didn't want to feel trapped no more. I didn't want to feel trapped by a job or by my health anymore. So I said, all right, we got to do something different. So I'm going to just continue down. I'm going to, continue and tell you about the strategy now. So anyways, I found this strategy. It's called cover calls. That's what the strategy is called. And this strategy alone literally changed my life. When I say it changed my life, this is how I make money. And let me just tell you how it works. I'm going to break it down. So basically how it works is you're buying individual stock. You're buying individual shares. So let's say a stock like Apple, for an example. let's say you have a few stocks of Apple that you own right now. So how it works is, if you are investing in a really solid company, a company where you're like invested into it long term, these are the best type of stocks. And this is how it works. So you're invested in the company. You're trading a contract against the shares or the stock, same thing, that you already own. And this is how you get paid every single week or every single month. So some stocks pay out their people. If you trade the strategy cover calls, it pays out every single month. And then there's some where it pays out every single week. So let me just give you a little gem real quick. You can identify this by looking at an option chain. Okay, just do it. You'll be able to tell if you can trade the stock every single month or if you can trade the stock every single week. Now, if the stock don't move, if that thing just don't move and it's just stuck, it's not moving, you can still keep your money. So when you're trading a contract against the shares you already own, you're making a premium. So it don't matter if your stock go up, stock go down, stock stays the same, you still made what you made. So a lot of people know day trading, where you got to make money when the stock go up or you got to make money when the stock go down. But for this strategy, what works well is a boring stock. That's what works well, a boring stock. Now, I'll never forget. When I first started trading was February 2020. Y'all know it was right before the you know what that happened in 2020. And I'm so grateful that this happened because I had just started trading and I was feeling myself. I was on my way out the door, out the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Firing my boss. That man had to go. And my second month trading, the market dropped crazy. It was a market crash. That thing was dropping 3,000 points a day. The Dow Jones, it was wild. And I was like, oh man, I'm about to start trading through a down market. I was scared, sweating, terrified. Like, oh my God, I thought this was my ticket out this place. I hope this worked. And it did. Not only did it work, baby, I was cashing out. You hear me? Baby, it was too good. So it doesn't matter if we're in a daggone recession, market crash. You can still rely on this trading strategy and place your 9 to 5 income with this income if you wanted to, or you can still produce income with this strategy. You don't even have to leave your job, okay? You don't got to leave your job. I left my job. You don't got to leave though. And so when the market is going up, when it's going up and up and up and up and up, amazing. First of all, your account value as a whole, you're making equity, which is dope. You can still trade the same stock the same way that you've been trading during a down market, or if the market is quiet and nothing going on. So this is what I love the absolute most about. Now, it's consistent. So every single week that you trade or every single month that you trade, you're making the same profit. So for an example, if you're making $1,000 every single month, that is the example I like to go with, because my first month trading, I made $1,000 every single month starting. So, well, my first month. So if you're making $1,000 one month, you're going to continue to make $1,000 every single month. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. Now, 2 is low stress. So I don't have to be signing into my little broker account trying to see if my trade hit. I ain't got time for that. When you make your trade once a week, that takes like 30 seconds to submit the trade. You ain't got to log in no more. You just let it go. Just let the trade do what it needs to do. And that's it. So it's perfect for those of you who you're not trying to gamble. We ain't got time for that. You're not trying to gamble and you're not trying to stare at charts all day. Let me just tell you something. That whole risky stuff, the risky trading where you got to cross your fingers, and that's not even enough. You got to try cross them toes too. You got to do all you can in hopes that you about to make some money. It's either you in day trading, what people know, you either make money or you lose your money. You either right or you're wrong. That's it. No in between. And so instead of doing all that, with this strategy, you make your profits up front, which is dope. It doesn't matter what happens with the trade. The cool thing is you're an investor, and that's what makes it low risk, and you're just trading against the shares that you own. So that's how that works. Now, so there's no day trading involved. There's no like fancy charts and like indicators and all that stuff. And then you don't need no experience. Like a fifth grader could do this. But why does boring work? Like, why does boring work? Okay, let me break it down. Now, investing, it don't gotta be risky. Okay, investing does not have to be risky. And it don't have to be exciting either. You don't got to be excited. You ain't got to do all that, because sometimes that slow, boring moves is the most powerful. And that's what you want with this strategy. You want a boring stock. That thing sleep. It is sleep. That's what you want. Now, boring builds wealth, not hype. You can be hype all you want on the other side, but over here, boring builds wealth, not hype. Not hype. Now, why I love boring, slow moving stocks? Number one, they grow steadily over time. So there's like no wild swings going on. You gotta worry about that. It's just quiet. The growth is consistent. That builds real wealth. We're not trying to be rich over here. We're trying to build wealth. Rich comes and goes. But that wealth, baby, that wealth keep on going. That thing keeps on going. That's what you want. Number two, with this strategy, and also why I love boring, slow moving stocks, they're going to pay you for holding the stock. Yeah, them people gonna pay you. It's called dividends. So dividend paying stocks, it sends you regular cash payouts even if the stock don't move. So dividend stocks is like, John invested into Apple. They're like, hey, John, thank you, John, for investing in our company. Here is $1.50 per share. I don't know, just an example. So that's how dividend paying stocks work. Now, when you merge the strategy, cover calls with dividend paying stocks, that's two incomes right there. We're going to talk about it. Now, number three, if you stick with the boring, slow moving stocks, it brings you a peace of mind. So there's no stress. You don't have to watch the charts and all that stuff, being glued to your phone all day. You just set that thing, you set it, and you let it work. Like I said earlier, when we trade, we submit the trade, right? Submit the trade. Take you, if you're a beginner, I say less than 3 minutes. If you're a pro like me, do, submit, make your income up front. You just log out. You don't even got signed in. You just wait until the next week until you trade it again, once a week. And so that's it. Now, the next reason, investing into slow, steady, boring stocks is perfect for the cover call strategy. It's steady enough to generate that reliable income without all those big risks involved, like I talked about a little bit earlier. And then there's also two ways that you get paid. You get paid through the dividends, and then you get paid through the weekly or the monthly income that comes from the cover call, which means a double income stream. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I just hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Listen, this is what Warren Buffett said. Y'all know Warren Buffett, he my cousin. I like to call Warren Buffett my friend, but we might be related. But anyway, Warren Buffett said, this is what he said. He said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. I don't think y'all heard me. Warren Buffett he once said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. To be patient in the market, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. Now, when I first started trading my first born stock, I started looking at the Dow Jones 30. That was like the first exchange that I ever was interested in looking at. So I looked through the Dow Jones 30 index and I was trying to find me a stock that I could trade. I was looking for a company that was, where I could afford. And looking for a company I could afford. I was looking at the fundamentals and all that good stuff and the premium, because the premium matters too when it comes to this strategy. And so I found my stock, and my stock was AMD. And so at the time, AMD was at about $50, the $50 range. And I said, cool, in order for me to invest in this AMD stock, I'm going to need to invest $5,500. So what I did was, I worked my butt off because I said, listen, this strategy is going to have me fire my boss. And that was the goal. So I went and I worked my butt off so I can build up that monies into my broker account so that I could trade AMD stock in the $50 range. I put $5,500 in there. And I started trading off of that stock. So my first trade was $250. And I said, all right, I'm trading once a week, every single Monday. If I times that by 4, which is 4 weeks in a month, that's $1,000 a month. I said, no, wait a minute now. I said, if I stay consistent with this thing, as long as I trade every single Monday, that take me a couple seconds, where you could literally trade alongside your 9 to 5. There's no excuses. I can make this week after week after week after week. I'll just keep earning. I said, babe. Then I said, one day my trading income will surpass my paycheck. And I was not kidding. When I saw that, I woke up. I said, yo, one day my trading will surpass my paycheck as long as I stay consistent and trade this every single week. So I realized real quick, I ain't need no boss no more. I did not need no boss no more. I did not need that man no more. Let me tell you something. You do not need to be a math genius. Get it out your mind. To trade stocks and really to trade this strategy, you don't need to be no math genius. You don't need to have a financial degree. I need you to get it out your head. All you need is the right strategy. That's all you need. And you need to have patience to let it work. You need to have patience to build your stock account. You need to have a patience to be, because first of all, you got to be consistent. You just need to have patience. You just need to have patience. Just need to have patience. And I just want you to know that you're literally looking at someone who struggled with a learning disability, and I was able to make this work. So you have no excuses, no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. If you could send an email, at your 9 to 5, you could trade. You could trade this strategy. It's that easy. It's literally that simple. If you have a 5th grade education, 10-year-old education, your 10-year-old could trade this strategy. You could trade this strategy. Super, super, super simple. It's so easy. And if you want me to walk you through literally this exact strategy, step by step, I need to see you at my next free Masterclass. Okay, I'm hosting a free 5-day event. Completely free. You get to spend 5 days with me. When I say I'm going to teach it down, I'm going to teach the investing, how to locate a low risk stock, which is so important, a stock that's boring, stock that doesn't move. How to trade the cover call strategy and bring in that consistent income where if your balls start tripping, you know what I mean? You got something in your back pocket. Yeah. Play with me if you want. If you want to, you're going to have that kind of money, right? And then my strategies on how I was able to scale my income over time. You're going to learn about all of that. But the most important is learning how to be financially secure instead of relying on your boss for a paycheck. So the link is in the description. The link to register for the free 5-day event, it is in the description. Definitely secure your seat. And we're next week is going. Listen. I need you to be there on time. Okay, I need you to be there on time. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be so much fun. But anyways, I hope to see you there. I hope you learned quite a bit from this video, how the strategy works, what type of stock to invest in that works well with the strategy, how to make double your income using dividend stocks, and also combining it with the cover call strategy. I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in my next one. All right. Bye, y'all.